came out today to work on a lean-to shelter that I'm setting up. I set this up there a month and a half or so ago, and I'm just gonna work on it some more. And I thought I'd bring, you guys along. Here's the front view. You can see I have a raised bed in the shelter. Give you a side view. It's pretty tall as well. It's about 8 feet high in the front, but I wanted that so I get a pretty good pitch on the back side here. So you can see I've got a pretty good pitch on that, and that's what I wanted. Gives me lots of headroom. This is basically a shelter that would be semi-permanent, that you have enough room that you can walk around inside and such. But you can see the raised bed here, how I've got this made up. And this here, I made them smaller, somewhat, 1.5 to 2-inch rails across the poles. So it actually gives a little bit, gives you a little bit of spring. But what I did, as you can see, I've got a bigger log on the bottom, one in the back as well, and I just leveled that across and then put the stakes in to hold it, and it works really well. Now I put this up, like I said, it's 8 feet. It's tied onto here. You always want to put your pole up against the tree on this side, so all the weight is forcing it into the tree. Now I've got this tied around with this twine here to hold the weight and such, and it is tied rather strong. It is not moving. Well, right now I'm going to get to adding more poles in between these ones here. When out here, I don't like, cutting in an area where you're going to harm the environment. I will be using this, and I have to hone my skills, Done this for many years, but it's always good to keep in practice. So I go to an area like this. If you see, there's so many of these little trees everywhere around here, and this is exactly what I need. So if I harvest these ones, I pick and choose, so it takes me longer to actually get this done and work on this than it would otherwise just cutting every one I come to. I selectively choose which tree I'm going to take for the better of this forest. All these little trees, they're so intertwined and such that half of them die. And the reason why is because it's so thick in here, they can't reach the sun. So by pruning, basically, and taking out some of these trees, you're helping this forest area. And that's my goal here as well. So I benefit by getting a shelter, and the forest benefits by me harvesting some of these trees to make the other ones grow strong. I know that my poles have to be roughly 12 feet long. So I go 2 arm spans out, and it gives me a rough estimate. So you can see that's closing in. Preferably, I'd like to have, you know, butt on butt right straight across. It's going to take too many trees. This here, I mean, you've only got 6-inch gap at the most between, so you're pretty safe in this. And that adds pretty good structural, you know, strength to it. Got about 4 inches at the most across here. That's going to be great. Down here is pretty bunched up. This is probably not necessary, although for me, I sleep better, and I'm the type of person prepare for the worst, and this way here I know I'm safe. I mean, this is up to you. You can build it however you want. This is what I'm going to do. And another very important part about survival and well, shelter building. I'm starting to sweat, so it's time to peel off layers. That's very important as well in any situation. You always want to be at a comfortable cold. You don't want to sweat, and I'm starting to sweat, so time to peel off. there it is. That's good all the way across there. Mostly 2-inch gaps everywhere. There's a couple spots up top here, whatever. It might have 4 inches, but that's good. I've also been collecting the fir boughs I've been trimming off and such. I'm going to just throw, you know, some of it on here just because I did cut it down, so I might as well use it. Or maybe I'll put it on my bed. I'm not going to go around and trim a bunch of trees to cover this, because I can cover this just as easy with a tarp when I come out. I'll just throw a tarp over it and I'm good to go. If I was out here long term, I would cover this, you know, totally with 2 feet of boughs kind of thing, if I didn't have a tarp. But I do, you know. So I'm not going to go around kill a bunch of trees and, you know, strip a bunch of trees for just something I'm going to camp in. It's a lot easier just to throw a tarp over it. Now this is done. I've got to tie some poles up there just to sturdy it. And then I can start working on the sides. That'll be next. Okay, I'm starting to get cold now. And so it's time to throw the sweater back on. I'm not going to put the jacket on unless I get cold again. But right now, I'll throw the sweater on. Remember, stay at a comfortable cold. Here's the last one. I'm going to tie this in with it. So, that out of the way first. We'll tie another one here with a tag on it, so I can tie it off later. But this is the last one. It's taken quite a while to tie all these across here. It's been crazy long time, actually. I'm going to somewhat lash this on here and tie this to it. Okay, pretty well ready to tie this off now. Now this is drove into the ground as well. You know, not real tight or anything, but that'll hold that. It's drove into the ground and such. That's all tight, so that's good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them across, poke them into the ground, and tie them up here. Then I'll take my saw and cut across after I'm done. But I also have a cross brace down bottom that I'm going to tie it to as well. I put that lash on the bottom. You can see got one lashed across, and so that's lashed on the bottom and it's lashed up top. Now I'm going to continue doing that all the way to fill in that side. So this is basically filled in across here now. They're all tied up here, and most of them are, you know, they're tied to here on the bottom as well. I just got to tie these down on the bottom. But that's it. I'm running out of battery. So this is going to be it for the shelter. And the sun's going to be down in an hour. That's it for now. And hope you enjoyed this. Take care.